Welcome to You Care, You Share. I want to talk to you today about your identity. That is who God made you to be when He formed you in your mother's womb. God has an identity for all of us, our identity in Christ. And discovering that identity is a great thing because you don't want to walk around in life in a false identity. A lot of people do that. They have identities where they believe or they tell themselves, I'm not good enough, I'll never be enough, or they live in fear, and they look back to their past and they let the things define them, troubles that they went through that they either were angry about or they were depressed. They let it affect them in negative ways, and it became their identity. And so we don't want to do that. We don't want to live in a false identity. And so I just read this book called Living Fearless by Jamie Winship. I just finished it last night. And so he talks about your true identity. I'm going to read you a couple of paragraphs about what the book is about. Discover the secret to being fully alive, fully human, and fully free. After decades living and working in conflict zones, Jamie Winship discovered an important truth. All human conflict originates from fear, and fear originates from a false view of God, ourselves, and others. Until we exchange what's false for what's real, we will never experience the true freedom of our identity in Christ. In Living Fearless, Winship takes you on a journey of telling yourself the truth, changing your mindset, and experiencing actual life transformation that leads to radical courage in the face of all that life throws at you. With humor, clarity, and real-life practicality, this book is your invitation to listen closely to what God is trying to say to you about Himself, about the person He created you to be, and about all the other people He created and loves. Jamie is a former police officer. And so he tells you in the book he's going to be your field training officer, because that's what he did when he was a rookie. He had to go around with a field training officer 10 hours a day, 4 days a week. And he got the toughest training officer you could get. No one wanted to get this guy because he was so tough. But that's the guy who Jamie got. And he would ask him every day at the end of the shift, do you want to quit? Because I don't think you're going to make it. Do you want to quit right now? And it was tough. But so he's your field training officer in this book. And he walks you through these things. And I've never read a book like this before in my life. It's very powerful. I'm just going to give you an illustration or one of the stories. Not the whole story, I'm just going to give you a hint here. But he was speaking in Washington, D.C. He used to live in that area, although he spent 27 years, almost 27 years in Muslim countries. And he lived in very dangerous places. And he raised a family in these dangerous places. But remember, the book's called Living Fearless. And so he was in all kinds of dangerous situations as a rookie in the police force. And after 2 years in the police force, he received the Officer of the Year award. And then after 5 years, he was asked by a certain government official, what's your method, or how do you solve all these things? How do you do all these things? How do you come up with all these solutions? And but what it was that Jamie started asking questions. He started asking God questions like, Lord, is there a better way to do police work? What does it look like? God, show me. Show me what you want me to know. And he would ask questions. And when he got in situations and he needed God's help, he would ask him. And God would show him things. And he was making a huge impact huge impact with gangs, all kinds of things. So it's just powerful because he was living in his true identity. And so I'd encourage you to read this book, Living Fearless, and you can go on YouTube and listen to and watch Jamie's videos. He has several videos on YouTube. I watched several of them, and they're all great. And he has lots of real stories, amazing stories. So that's what I want to talk to you about today, about true identity. Bye.